Hello, and welcome to Santa Barbara County's A Salute to Teachers show. We're so excited to introduce to you some of our fabulous teachers and to show you what's happening in their classrooms. Now, there are over 3,500 teachers in Santa Barbara County, which makes this first teacher we're going to show you even more exceptional. Her dedication to her students, her school, and the community are shining examples of what earned her the title of the 2018 Santa Barbara County Teacher of the Year.
Interplay quicks, good, you got that one. Now, why do they occur? Well, mistakes are huge, they're how we learn. And so I make sure the students know that even I make mistakes, and we draw attention to my mistakes so that they know that it's okay and that we learn from them. We talk about the growth mindset, which is where your brain is firing, the synapses are firing every time you make a mistake, and so you're learning from those mistakes. And so instead of being embarrassed by making a mistake, we often celebrate the mistakes, and then we talk about, well, what did we learn from there? And the kids always go, my brain just grew, so they're getting into the discovery of that as well. That's, to me, a huge celebration, just watching their minds just grow and work together as peers, and that critical thinking and that problem solving together. It's such a huge tool to have, and I love seeing their brains just grow and work together.
I think it says, wait, no. I think we put Pompey right now.
Why?
Because
I love teaching them to work together and to be kind. I think that's huge these days. Teaching them to problem solve amongst themselves, and that we aren't all going to get along all the time, but how do we work through that? And how do we talk to each other respectfully? And how do we respect other people's opinions?
Jen is a natural with students. She loves what she does. She cares very much for her students. She has just a genuine interest in building little people that are going to make the world a better place. And it is just a joy to be able to work with somebody that has those traits.
she just does all these wacky jokes and they're so funny. And she also makes learning fun. That's one of her rules. She has to make learning fun for herself and the entire class. If it's more fun, then you have a reason to like it. And if you like it, then you can feel it kind of in your heart. And then it goes through your brain, and then it works harder so you can get better at it and you can like it more.
I've never woken up and said, oh, I've got to go to work today. I love coming in, I love greeting the kids and seeing what they've been doing. I love hearing their discoveries. I'm not just here in the classroom from 8 to 2:30 or 3. That as a teacher, we're here all the time if you need something. And I'm available to my students all day long. I often, on weekends, go watch their soccer games or their football games. Just make sure that they know that I'm here if they need something, or just to support them and celebrate their successes. Not every student needs the extra support, but they just love to see the teachers there celebrating their successes with them and getting to know them on an emotional, social emotional level as well, and not just as a name in a grade book.
And Mrs. Klein, Jen Klein, is a fixture in the community, and kids see her at football games and at the grocery store. So it's not just the year in 5th grade that they spend with her. I think that they see her as an advocate for their whole life.
And Mrs. Klein's helping us she's helping us understand things a lot more, and she's just helping us with everything we need help with. And she'll always say, even though, like in math, even if you get something wrong, your brain still grows, which makes us want to just keep trying and doing it. And it just helps us get better and better at things. And then that will help us get into college and get a good job, which is great.
We are all important, we all matter, take care of each other, work together. I think everything that I teach them, such as making mistakes and kindness and treating each other with civility, I think that's more important than, the academics are important as well, but the academics will come, and just being a kind person, then that's going to get you so far. And so if I can give them some elements of that, I'd be very honored.
Congratulations to Jennifer Klein on the well-deserved recognition. We'll be back in 1 minute to introduce you to some of Santa Barbara County's rising stars in the teaching profession. Stay right there.
Teachers are the heart and soul of our community. Cox Communications' commitment to education and our educators runs deep. In fact, our founder, James M. Cox, was a teacher before he started the company. On behalf of all of us at Cox, I'd like to say thank you. Not only to the teachers we're honoring through a Salute to Teachers this year, but to all the teachers who are making a real difference in the lives of our students every single day.
Coming from a low-income family, college is always something you hear. You have to go to college, you're going to go to college, but you don't really know how you're going to get there. So the SBCC Promise really helped with the financial portion of it and really gave me and my family hope.
The SBCC Promise covers 2 years of fees, books, and supplies for any local high school graduate willing to make the commitment. It's an investment in our future, and your support makes it possible. Join us.
Welcome back. For anyone starting out in their new career, it's incredibly important to have a mentor to help you with your new craft. That is true for new teachers as well, and that's why the Santa Barbara County Education Office's Teacher Induction Program pairs new teachers with mentor teachers to ensure success. Here are 3 new educators who were nominated by their mentors and are this year's Distinguished New Educators.
For the next 40 years, you're going to be working somewhere, doing something, and hopefully it's something that you enjoy. My name is Desiree Hitch, and I teach SAS at Rigetti High School. It stands for Student Academic Achievement Seminar. So we kind of look at the students that are long-term English learners who might need a little bit of extra help in their classes, and they're placed in SAS to work on their organizational skills and goal setting and college and career exploration. So I am the head varsity girls basketball coach. I'm going into my 3rd year as the head coach, and we've had 2 really successful seasons. The first year that I coached, we broke the school record for most wins, and then last year we broke that record, and we also made it to state. So if you wanted to do engineering and you took engineering classes and then you decided to change, let's say to business, then you'd have to start over and take the business classes. Being able to work with students and knowing that you're making a difference in their life and helping students, it brought a happiness to me that I had never had before. You know, it's the same thing with coaching. You know, you're helping out somebody and you're making a difference and they look up to you. And then they also see me as somebody that, you know, she graduated from high school and she went on to college and now she's a teacher. Like, if she can do it, I can do it, you know. And so I feel like if I didn't have her, like I wouldn't probably know where I want to go or like what I want to do exactly after high school. So it's actually made like a huge impact.
She helps us out a lot. She helps us do career planning, goal setting, and she's very helpful when we need help with homework, or she gets us help. I knew that being in the classroom and helping the kids would keep me happy, and you know, that's where I'm at.
How many of you have applied for the job, like through an application?
Ms. Lindbergh, she knows what to do because I know she has more than one student, not just me, but she knows what she needs to do and she knows how to keep us on task, and that's the cool thing about it.
Oh, she's really, really nice. She could be strict and tough, but it's for her own good, and that's what I like about her. She cares a lot about our grades, so every week she calls us up and, you know, what's going on with this grade, and she cares a lot about us.
93427. Thank you.
93427.
93427. I think everyone just wants to be acknowledged. Everyone wants to be loved, and especially in this field where students are coming with various challenges. I love that I can be that person for them and support them in their education and their lives. My goal is for them to graduate high school, pass their classes, graduate, and really feel accomplished, that they can move forward in life because they are soon to be adults. They're soon to be voters. They're soon to be contributing to society. So however I can support them in preparing for life in the real world, then I've done my job. My colleagues and team, they have been a huge support. The bar is high, and that has definitely pushed me to be my best and ask questions, get help when needed. And I feel like everyone wants me to succeed, and I definitely feel the love here. If you're a high school student, typically You should only be working part-time. I thought this job would be outstanding, and it surpassed that in so many different ways. And not that I'm surprised, but I never imagined that I would get this much joy out of a job. And especially when I'm working with kids that are working on after high school. Noah had a good question. On the top, it's asking you what position you're applying for. I'm just very passionate about my students, and I know that I'm making a difference in their lives. And that to me is a huge motivator for them.
I think she's very good. She basically helps a lot of people, like how loving and caring she is, like how she helped me through all these years in high school. She's very great.
I couldn't imagine not teaching special ed. It is a outstanding population that needs a lot of support, and I connect with them, and so it's a wonderful thing.
Maybe with bullet points, you write down what's the next quote you would use, and then what would you say about that quote? And it looks like you have another idea right here. There was a period of time when I thought maybe I'll be a marine biologist or I'll go into advertising, but teaching was always the thing that stuck and always the thing that I came back to and really cared about. So my first year was really hard. I definitely had a lot of long nights here, grading, catching up on work, lots of just stressful periods throughout the year. But I'm still here, so it wasn't, I survived. The reason we're doing this is so that you understand how to write an introduction paragraph. You see what we need to include in an introduction. There's just so many questions you have in the beginning that you didn't even think to ask when you're getting hired or when you go through your teacher credential program. And just having someone that you can bounce those questions off of is very helpful. And then having someone who has experienced the trials and tribulations of a first-year teacher that can say like, oh yeah, don't worry, you're feeling this way, like that's normal. A lot of people feel that way, and kind of getting that reassurance and confidence that you need to get back up in front of the class the next day and still like carry on. So that was, really important.
She is a terrific teacher. She's my role model. We're at opposite ends of our career, so that's kind of a big thing to say. She is who I would have wanted to have been when I first started out. She's very energetic. She really connects with the kids. She's young, and I think they really appreciate that youth perspective.
I just feel like she's a teacher that you can talk to or like relate to on a personal level, which makes it even more fun to be in her class.
Having her as my teacher, I think it would impact my life because she would always be on task, making sure that I'm on the way to success and making sure that she's there. Making sure that I'm good.
Coming up with that thesis. If you don't have a strong argument, the rest of your essay is going to be a challenge. But the creative part of teaching is something that surprised me that I really like. Every single day I get to create a new experience. I get to design a lesson and an environment for kids to learn, and that's something that I really enjoyed. It's a lot of work, but it's really fun. I think one goal I have for all my students is that they feel positively when they walk into my classroom. So if they're going to come into this space, like I want them to feel like this is a place they can belong in. And this is a place where they'll be heard and they can kind of take risks, because a lot of students show up to class and are just afraid of speaking out loud or of talking to a teacher or of talking to their classmates. And if I can create a space where they all feel comfortable doing that, I feel like I would be doing a good job. Have a great day, everybody. Make good choices this weekend. I'll see you on Monday.
Congratulations to the distinguished new educators. Stay right there. We'll be back in 1 minute to introduce you to some of this year's standout teacher mentors.
Out here on the Central Coast, people do things differently. That's why for over 40 years, Montecito Bank and Trust has never offered a one-size-fits-all loan or mortgage, because we're not a factory, we're a bank. So along with our highly skilled bankers and 24/7 digital banking from anywhere, we personalize all of our loan solutions. We don't believe anything should come out of a cookie cutter, unless you're making cookies. Montecito Bank and Trust. Behind every great community is a great bank.
The Santa Barbara Bowl has a rich history of supporting the arts and music education. Our education outreach seeks to ensure that everyone has access to music, whether by playing or listening. Through our instrument fund, community ticket subsidy, and educator grant programs, we continually find ways to bring our local students access to the arts. The Santa Barbara Bowl is honored to celebrate and support teachers who share our commitment to performing arts, including our Santa Barbara Bowl Performing Arts Teacher of the Year.
Welcome back. You just met our distinguished new educators. Mentoring new teachers is an incredibly important job. Here are 3 educators who were nominated by the teachers they mentor and are this year's distinguished mentors.
So they have this in quotation marks because they copied that exactly from the text, the things that Augie said, and then they explained a little bit more. They let us know, well, this is what he said when he came back. That's what makes a good teacher. Like, it's always self-reflecting. This worked great. Let me try it again next year. This didn't work great. I'm going to redo and start over again, and having that self-reflective piece. And I think that's a big part of that mentoring. We're just going to keep trying. We're going to keep changing, and you're going to keep growing. Just kind of what we ask the kids to do. We ask them to try, and we ask them to grow, and we're looking for progress. And I think that makes a confident teacher who wants to continue. I'm quite certain, because I know listening to you guys, you have a lot to say about Augie, so I know that you'll have no problem writing about him.
They give you tools. You've never used these tools, however, so somebody has to teach you how to use the tools that you come with, and that's what she did. And she like tells me and guides me, try this, and then she doesn't just say, try this. What she does, which is most important, is she comes back and said, how did it go? Give me your feedback. If this didn't work, what can I do to help you further? So she's just an amazing person.
I think she'd be good at helping teachers get better is because she seemed like the perfect teacher because she always wanted to be there. She wasn't off task. Like, she would teach us what we needed to learn in the amount of time we had to learn it.
I think she's a good teacher to teach other teachers. She doesn't let you give up, or she pushes you to, like, because she knows you can do better.
I would like to see them be confident in what they're doing. I would like to see them try new things. I would like to see them be reflective in their practice and base what they choose to do on the classroom on what the students need. Not what they think might be this best lesson, but really what do the students need? Where are you trying to get them to go, and how can you get them there? And then that way they're developing their own selves as a teacher rather than copying me. And I'm just there to guide and to coach and to mentor. And I like watching the growth and the confidence that my scholars have, and also the teachers that I work with, that they have. And it's neat to watch them grow and to watch them prosper.
So we'll say that I'm still a seed with some little sprouts on the bottom. And hopefully one day I'll blossom into that beautiful rose like my mentor one day, with only a few thorns. Thank you, Chris Petroni. You're the best.
That's what's so exciting about archaeology. We dig up these things, we find out new information, and it's like a puzzle. Teaching is really challenging. I think it's become more challenging. So it's fabulous to have these younger teachers who their minds are so quick and they're so fabulous. And then they come out of school, they're trained magnificently, and they have a map, a really strong map. You get into the field and the map is not the territory.
Today we're just going to sketch one. But on Tuesday, you guys are going to make your own paintbrush, right? Kind of your Cro-Magnon paintbrush. Is that right?
I think what Kevin always did was he asked me to reflect a lot, and through reflection I was usually able to find the answer. And really just having an open ear, sometimes you just need to get your feelings out there, and having Kevin with an open ear and an open heart really made it easy for me.
It was really important, and so much of it for me was the small conversations and those questions of how do I, or where do I, or what are your thoughts on this lesson? Guide me through some of how you would teach this, and he was just a great role model.
I think he would be a really good example just to understand how kids work, kinda, to give other teachers an instruction manual, sort of. Debrief on the whole kid, 6th grade, whatever grade they're in situation, and really make new teachers understand how kids work, kind of.
What do you call those stuff that they find that people left? Oh, I love it. Lots of hands are up. Yeah. Then artifacts. So who could tell me what an artifact is? It's neat in the sense of legacy. You want there to be a continuation of quality teachers and quality education occurring. Hopefully there's people who are inspired and passionate about what they're doing, and so they'll kind of pass that on.
I think the great thing I love about Kevin is that he wanted the best out of everybody for them and for them to realize their potential of who they were, whether that was being a student or in my case, the best teacher and the best person that I could be.
I think he's a really good model of professionalism, and he's a really good model of respect and integrity and humility, and all of those things are really admirable, and I definitely am trying to follow his footsteps.
That's in Santa Barbara. It's a very special cave. It's just been a very rich, rewarding career, meaningful. You know, it's called Bear Paw Cave, and if you look,
I'm so thankful that your teacher lets me come in and read you guys stories. I love reading stories to you guys.
I think a really important part of teaching is the collaboration with other teachers. So that was always a really big thing for me. Anytime I felt like there was something I could be doing better or different, Denise was always my go-to person that I would go to and ask her, you know, this is what I'm doing, like what are your suggestions? Do you have any activities you can give me? Any ideas? Or like come in and watch me and tell me like a better way to do it. And so she was always my person that I could go to and give me advice and help me out.
Even love to pop in and maybe help monitor the rest of your class while you're working with that small group.
You know, she comes in and reads with my students a lot, and when she isn't here for like a week, they're all asking me, where's Miss Stevens? Where's Miss Stevens? Can she come in and read us a book? And you can tell how much the students really appreciate and love her too.
For me, sometimes it's selfish because as a mentor, I find that I get to learn new things. And I think for Ashley, for both of us, it has been camaraderie. It's a time for us just to sit down, talk about what's going on in her lesson design, what's going on in her class. If you're having a bad day, great, let's talk about it. Because sometimes through that process of talking to somebody, you come up with your own solutions. And it's amazing how sometimes I'm just listening. And through that process, ideas start to generate, or I can suggest something, you know, have you considered this? And then all of a sudden, oh wow, I never considered that before. I'm gonna try that and see if that works. I think that's one of the areas that I really appreciate the most is when I see them take that next step on their own.
I'm very thankful to have had Denise as a part of my life because she's helped me out in a lot of different areas, and having someone help drive me to be the best teacher I can be, and not just like encouraging me, but giving me the tools to help me be the best teacher has been amazing.
Congratulations to our distinguished mentors. They're building a legacy of excellence in Santa Barbara County. Coming up next, we'll introduce you to an outstanding teacher who might just get you playing a whole new tune. We'll be right back.
Many of us remember the teachers who believed in us, who taught us to read and pushed us to learn how to think. Teachers touch our lives every day. At Fielding Graduate University, we are proud of our long history of educating teachers and leaders for our school systems. As president of Fielding and a teacher myself, I am so pleased to support Cox's Salute to Teachers, which celebrates the dedicated and talented teachers of Santa Barbara County.
When kids have internet access at home, they're more successful in the classroom. If your child is a K-12 student and your family receives government assistance, you could qualify for discounted Cox high-speed internet for only $9.95 a month. To enroll, call 855-222-3252 or visit cox.com/C2C. And while you're there, check out the Cox Digital Academy for educational tools and web tips for the whole family.
Welcome back. The Santa Barbara Bowls Education Outreach Program is committed to supporting performing arts education in our schools countywide. Every year since 2015, they've honored a local arts teacher as Santa Barbara Bowls Performing Arts Teacher of the Year. Let's meet this year's recipient.
3, 1, 2, 3. I don't really believe in musical talent. It's exposure. It's training before you realize that you're training. It's just having music as a part of your life, and you learn to speak it like a language before you even realize that you've done it. Every kid deserves this shot. It's one of my missions to make sure that as many kids as possible get this opportunity. 1, 2, 3, Well, music it's not just a class. It's not something that kids go to do for 40 minutes a day. It's a huge part of life. It's a part of our humanity. Okay, we can fix this. This is so much less important than the inflection that you're doing. Good job. It's who we are as humans. Not everybody gets to do this, even gets to realize how important it can be. But when you do, if you're lucky enough to, you can't let that go. So everything that we do in the classroom it's not just about notes and rhythms. The music is what we get to do together. So when we're making music and communicating in that realm, in that way, that's something that's very hard to describe.
And if you make mistakes, that's okay. Just don't put your instrument down and give up. Keep trying, ready?
I've got a great spot where my classroom is. I can hear them rehearsing in the afternoons. And I don't want to close my door. It's amazing just hearing in rehearsal. And he's so positive through all of it too. And it brings out just this really positive energy with the kids as well. And it's really moving. It's amazing, the impact.
It's something that people do because they're people, not because they're professional musicians, which also leads into a message that the kids get from me a lot, that you don't have to be a professional musician to be a musician. You can have it as a huge part of your life and go be a dentist or a doctor or an engineer or something else as well. And a lot of people do that really successfully because we don't do it to make money, we do it because we must.
It's made a huge difference. It's given me I've never really been the artistic type, but this is something I could I finally had a creative output in my life, and it felt nice to be able to express myself through more than just words. I could do it through music.
He's probably the most encouraging, most creative guy I know. I've been in his classes for 4 years. I've had 2 classes every single year, and he's the most inspiring teacher I have.
Yeah! What did I give you? Did I teach you anything? Did we talk about how to do that?
No.
No, you just did it like you meant it, and it sounded better. Yeah? Do you believe me? Are you sure?
Magic.
Huh?
Magic.
It's not magic, it's you. You did that.
He's changed a lot of people's lives just with the power of music. And I think that's one of the biggest things about my life, music, and he's made it the way it is.
They're getting to do this thing, the music as a group, where they get to experiment and find it for themselves is the important part. And that's what did it for me. That's what does it for these kids as well, when they get to find it themselves and realize just how fulfilling it can be. Yeah, it's fun, but it's more than fun. It's who we are. Yeah, good, I'll take it.
Very impressive. Congratulations to all the teachers that were honored in Santa Barbara County's A Salute to Teachers show. We hope you've been inspired by seeing these great educators in action. Thank you so much for joining us.